dream chasing. If they hating shit, nigga, keep hating. Cause the sky is the limit. I'ma make it to the top by any means. Go and get it. We dream chasing on the block.
Yeah, man, we on Top of Your Game podcast, and we got Monica Garner in the building, best-selling author. Let's give it up. Hey, how you feel today?
I feel good.
That's great. Can you speak into the mic for us?
Will do. There we go.
Okay. Give us a background on where you're from and where you're coming from.
I'm from Kansas City. Kansas City Chiefs.
Let's go, Chiefs.
Yeah. They got a bye week this week, but what do you want to know?
Coming up in your childhood to where you're at now.
I grew up in the north end of Kansas City, Kansas, Wyandotte County. Went to Wyandotte High School. Came out in '86. What do you want to know?
And now, from when you came out from '86, when did you get jumping off into writing books?
Oh, I've been writing all my life, since the age of 12, just writing short stories and everything, and trying to get it published, and just kept getting a bunch of no's. You go through that whole thing where you turn down,
right,
until you finally get the yes. So I finally got the yes in
Give it up
2004.
Oh,
with my first book being published by BET Books.
Wow, that's incredible.
What made you start writing?
Well, I just always liked to write. But what made me want to try to become a professional writer was when I read Maya Angelou's I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings. Have you heard of that book? It's a great book.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
In high school. I think they had those type of books in the library in high school.
Yeah, you should read it. It's one of the best books in the library. So when I first read that book, it made me want. It helped me to see that Black people wrote books, because up until that point, all we had were white authors. So just seeing that a black woman had written a book and published it, it was really about her life. It made me want to read everything that she published. So, and it also let me know that I could be an author too.
Yeah, that's great. Oh wow, give it up for that. We know As Real as It Gets was the first book. What was the process on getting that published?
Well, I knew that I wanted to be an author, and like I told you before, you get all the no's where you get turned down by these big publishing houses. But I just felt like I was going to be published, and so I did that. Felt like I was going to be published, so I took Toastmasters. Have you heard of Toastmasters?
Yeah, I heard that.
All right, Toastmasters helps you become a professional speaker.
Right.
Helps you speak publicly. So I knew that I was going to eventually be published, and I needed to learn how to speak publicly. So I took Toastmasters. And in Toastmasters, I met a guy who introduced me to a best-selling author. She was already, doing her thing. And when he hooked us up, she said, when you finish the manuscript that you're working on, let me know, and I'm going to turn you over to my editor. And that's what she did. And so that editor gave me a contract.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. So that's how that happened.
Which book signing did you like the most out of all book signings?
Indigo Summer. I wrote a teen novel called Indigo Summer. It was actually the launch title for their new young adult line. It was the first time that Harlequin, the publisher that I was with, had like a Black urban line, and so Indigo Summer was the launch title for that. So they flew me to New York for that, and it was just incredible. I got to talk to a lot of the kids at some of the middle schools and high schools, and I did a lot of book signings while I was there. I was even on the radio, so
Wow.
that was cool.
What's your thought on the rest of the 2023?
What's my what?
Go.
My goals? Well, I just finished a book with Kensington. That's another traditional publisher, but it won't be out until 2025. But I finished that manuscript, and I'm hoping that something big happens with it.
Wow.
That's my goal.
That's great. Like, if you had a coffee shop, which coffee shop would you prefer to sit down and write at?
Definitely not Starbucks. I'm not feeling them right now.
I understand. I think I know the story.
Yeah. I don't know. I probably would pick a little small, local, black-owned coffee shop.
That's
That's what I would.
That's cool. That's good. Okay, I like that. Well, do you ever get writer's block?
Always.
How long?
Probably every time I write. And then you have to just step away, go do something else, and then come back to it. And the writer's block is gone.
What is the latest book you have out now for people who don't know?
The last book I wrote was Road Trip Holiday. I did a collaboration with one of my girlfriends who's also a writer, Electa Parks.
Yeah.
We did a book. We did two books together. We did Road Trip and Road Trip Holiday.
Wow.
So we wrote it together. That was the last book.
Wow. That's incredible.
And we self-published. That was my first time self-publishing because I've always been published by a publishing company. But those last two books we self-published.
Wow. I know you had a background about Indigo Summer. Tell us about how you broke a company. Well, not necessarily. I don't know if I'm wording it right. Well, you opened up a company where they came in the game. You gave them the light, the company the light with Indigo Summer. Like Indigo Summer was the first book published or something you were saying about the company.
It was the launch title for Harlequin.
Did that make Harlequin as of today, from that day, that time period then? Not saying you made them, but
no, well, it was Kamani. Well, it was Kamani True, and they did a few books.
Kamani, that's what it was. I'm sorry.
So they no longer have Kamani True. That line ended. The whole Kamani line ended. So a lot of those black authors that were published by Kamani and Kamani True, they were absorbed into just their regular lines that they already had. So they don't have the black line anymore.
Okay, we see not entrepreneurs, but yeah, we see them. We can say that in the whole. But we see entertainers and athletes get books published. Are those your interests of anything they're writing?
I haven't read anything by anybody famous other than Michelle Obama. I read her book, and I read I can't think of the lady's name. I've read a couple of them, but I'm not. That's really not my interest in what celebrities are writing about. But I really like fiction. I prefer fiction. So a lot of their books are biographies or autobiographies.
For sure. Was there a time that in your career where you just thought, I'm just too busy for writing?
Oh yeah. When recently, like a few years ago, when, like I told you, Kamani and Kamani True, they ended their line, and I still had 2 contracts left with them. And at the same time, my mom was very sick, and she was dying really, and I just really didn't want to write anymore. And I asked them if I could be relieved from my contracts, that I had with them, so that I could, give all my energy and attention to her. And at that time, I thought that I didn't want to write anymore. But I recently got a new contract this year.
Wow. So, how do you get the energy to get back to it?
I just had to just step away from it and then just, take some time to self-reflect. And, during that time I realized, that writing is really my passion. So I had to get back to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you feel when As Real as It Gets, the first one? I like that book, by the way. I read that in high school. How did you feel when that finally got published? What was your thoughts?
It was amazing. It's amazing when you get that first contract. It's like nothing. It's like nothing else.
Is Indigo Summer the most teen-friendly book that you wrote?
Well, Indigo Summer is a series.
Okay.
So Indigo Summer was the first book in a series of 6 books. So yeah, that was my first teen series.
What ages at the book signings come up to you, talk to you, or one?
I've had kids as young as 10 years old reading Indigo Summer.
10 years old.
10 years on up to like 18. Then I even had adults reading and enjoying it.
So if I'm getting it right, Essence. Essence,
Essence bestseller.
Bestseller.
Indigo Summer was an Essence bestseller.
Wow.
It was number 7 on the Essence bestseller list.
How did that feel, being an Essence bestseller?
I felt great. It felt great. And when they flew me to New York, I just want to mention that I was walking down the street after one of my book signings, and there was a young lady standing there waiting on the bus reading Indigo Summer, so that was just awesome.
Oh, right in front of your face?
Yeah. So I stopped and
Wow.
asked her if she wanted me to sign it, and she was like, yeah. So I signed it. It was cool. That was a cool experience.
Is there a limit, or on the chapters you write, or?
Well, it's
max?
actually a word limit.
Oh, okay.
So those books that are published by Harlequin, they're like 50,000 words. But now that I'm writing women's fiction, it's more like 85,000 words.
Wow.
That's like the minimum.
What is like your best vacation destination where you just watch the view and just write?
Probably Jamaica. I love Jamaica.
Wow.
That's like my favorite.
Yeah,
Anywhere there's a beach.
Jamaica's incredible.
It is.
So, okay, coming from Kansas City, we know Kansas City's known for jazz, barbecue. But when you think about Kansas City, you don't think about like too many authors or anything coming out of it, or you don't think about that. Like growing up in your environment, like the Kansas City environment, did you have a passion then?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would write these little short stories and share them with my friends in high school, and I wasn't even published then. I was just writing, and I would write it for them and take it to school, and they would read it and be like, "Okay, where's the next piece?"
Wow.
Yeah, even back then.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
So, how many manuscripts have you wrote before the final one came out? Like before you
How many
wrote
books
it?
do I have published?
Like how many manuscripts or writing just before you got As Real as It Gets published, did it take to get the final one?
Maybe about 10.
Wow. You think those? Would you care for any trying to publish any of those? Do you remember any of those stories?
Yeah, I have one that I wrote about my grandparents.
Okay.
And how they met in Key West, and I still have that manuscript, and I'm probably going to publish it one day.
What about film writing? Do you ever think about going into film writing?
They offered me a film option for Indigo Summer, and so I did a little bit of writing the treatments for it. Treatments is something that you do when you're, doing script writing. So I, tried my hand at that, but I haven't done anything more than that. But I wouldn't mind doing it, tapping into something like that.
Yeah, that'll be great. I would love to see that. To see if you was to write a film, what would it be about?
I probably would finish Indigo Summer, like take her to adulthood. Because Indigo Summer was about a 15-year-old young lady in high school. And I wrote that book like 15 years ago. So if she were a real person, she'd be 30. So I would write like a film maybe about her life as an adult.
Oh, okay. So if she was 30, you said she would be a real person.
I said if she were a real person, she would be 30 now.
Right.
Because I created her 15 years ago.
What was going through your mind when you created that character?
Well, I had teenage boys at the time, and just kind of listening to them talk and their experiences kind of helped me to develop Indigo Summer.
Wow.
And a lot of her life was based on what I remember about high school, about my high school. So.
And where can we go? Like Monica Wrights, for the people that don't know, Monica Wrights is a good place to go for all the information.
Yeah, you can go to monica-wrights.com, or if you wanted to go to, you could go to Amazon. You can get it on Amazon.com.
Well, we ain't gonna take up your time. We're gonna get up out of here. Clap it up for Monica Garner. Thanks for coming, man. We enjoyed you.
Thank y'all for having me.
Dream chasing,